Hey guys, how are you? Happy Monday. I am in front. Let me try to take this sunshine. I can't even, it's bright outside. It's not gonna help. I was gonna try to move my head to try to take the sunshine off of my forehead. It's okay. I am at court, guys. It is cold this morning. Your girl has on a whole trench coat deal. Okay, it is cold this morning. But I have court in 30 minutes. I'm in front of the building. And if you know, you know, your girl got a speeding ticket back in October of last year. And in my defense, I was not speeding. Maybe I was speeding, but it's COVID, social distancing, right? Come on, say it with me. Stay apart from the other cars, the other people. It's still COVID thing, whatever. So cop pulls me over, got a speeding ticket. So here in Texas, they do things a little bit different. You don't get a ticket and then get points on your license or whatever. It's a whole, they do stuff different here. It's actually better than what I'm used to being a Florida girl, where you get points unless you take a driving class and way different in Texas. But anyways, your girl hired an attorney, okay, a ticket attorney, because I'm not taking a class. You don't get points, but it's a check on your license or whatever with your speeding tickets. That stuff can make your insurance go higher. I don't got time. I got Progressive, okay? I need to keep my stuff good. So your girl hired an attorney. So I'm waiting for him. He's going to represent me in court. This thing is going to be thrown out. I already won the case, okay? And I learned my lesson. I slowed down, okay? I haven't got a ticket. I'm not even a person who gets tickets. I just think this guy was bored, so he gave me a ticket. So anyways, I'm taking it to court. So I'm off today. But as I'm sitting here, I was asking the Lord if he wants me to release this word that he gave me last week or earlier this week. Can't remember the date. It was earlier this week or last week for you guys. I was asking him if he wanted me to release it. And of course, I have two cars sitting next to me and people in both cars. So this just looks like I'm talking to myself or something. But I was asking him if he wants me to release this word to you guys. So I get a comment from my YouTube studio app, which shows all of you guys' comments. And this young lady commented on a word I released 7 months ago, okay, about the same exact type of word that I'm going to release right now. And in that actual word, I said, the dream God, or the dream that I'm releasing to you guys, I had this dream on January 23rd. 1, 2, 3. What's today, guys? 1, 2, 3, January 23rd. Okay, so I'm like, I hear you, Lord. And mind you, that word I released 7 months ago is the exact same type of word that I'm releasing to you guys right now. So I knew the Lord was speaking, and he was saying, release this word before you go in the courthouse, okay? Before I win this case, okay? That's a whole word in itself. I already released that word to you guys, but I knew he was speaking. And I'm going to release this word. I'm going to tag this word, the old word that I released 7 months ago that goes with this word. Look at this man in the back of my car. He don't know he on camera. I'm going to link that word in the comment section of this video and pin it to the comment section. Okay, I'm also probably going to repost it on my community board. I am going to repost it on my community board. But I knew the Lord was speaking. He's so strategic, guys. I can't even make this up. I wouldn't have even went back to that word. I just saw it because a young lady commented on that word this morning, and she said, you look so good in orange. And I'm like, what word was this? Felt led to go listen to it. And of course, on the actual word, I was saying, I had this dream on 1, 2, 3, January 23rd. This was of 2022. Today is January 23rd of 2023. So I knew the Lord was speaking. But anyway, what the Lord is saying, guys, with this word, this is a marriage word. I know some of y'all don't like them words. I don't care. I don't work for y'all. And he uses my experience, the things that I've went through, in order to speak to his children. And I'm okay with that. So anyway, I had this dream last week, and I was in Arkansas, which is where my ex-husband lives. And I was driving on his street, and I knew I was going to stay at his house for whatever reason. I was in town, and my sister Tara was driving me. I was in the front seat, passenger side, and we're driving down this street, right? And I'm on his street, and I'm passing by the house next door to his house, and his family members are outside. Now, in real life, his cousins used to live next door to him in the same house he actually lives in. So we're driving by this house, and I see his family members outside, and I look at his house, y'all, and it's his house. Half of his house is his normal looking house, like it looks the same way, same structure, design, or whatever. The other half of his house is nothing but the frame of a new house. You know how when people build a house, the first thing the builders do is they lay the foundation, and they begin to form the frame of the house. So you see all the sticks. All you see is like the bright colored sticks of the house, and you know a house is being newly built, right? So half of his house was his normal house, his brick style brown house. He has a nice house, but half of it was his normal house, and it was like the other half of it was a newly built house. So all I saw was like the sticks, the structure of the house, right? So as my sister's driving and I see his house, I told her, I said, he's rebuilding his house. I was like, I can't stay in here. I was like, his family, they're going to see me here. You could see straight through this house. I was like, I was like, I can't live here. I said, I got money. Take me to a hotel. So my sister kept going. But I was telling her, I said, I can't stay here. I was like, his family's going to see me. I was like, this house is like wide open. Because again, it was half his house and half this frame of a house that I knew. I was like, he's building a new house, but you could see straight through it. So I was like, I can't stay here. Take me to a hotel, right? So we go to the hotel, and as I'm in the hotel, a guy that I know in real life, sent me a text message, and he was like, hey, babe. And I remember looking at the text message. I'm like, why does he call me babe? I'm not his baby. Like I said that in the dream. And then I kind of heard my ex-husband talking, and it was like he was talking not to me, but I heard what he was saying. And he was like, yeah, I slept until 11 a.m. I'm rebuilding my house, and I just bought another house, and da-da-da. He's going on and on and on about the house he's rebuilding, his house, and that he just bought another house, whatever. That was the end of the dream. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a short breakdown of this dream, because I feel like my attorney is going to call me in a second. I'm going to have to go inside. But if he does call me and I have to go inside, I will finish this word when I come out of the court with my winning judgment. Okay, so anyway, guys, the motto for Arkansas is the people rule. Okay, the people rule. Yes, that's really where my ex-husband lives, but if you guys have followed me for a while, you know my ex-husband, he thinks his life is his, okay? He makes choices according to T's way of doing things, not capital G's way of doing things, as in the God of God, the Lord of Lords, okay? So hence, the people rule, Arkansas. God really rules, and many of these prodigal wives, husbands, family members, they're about to find out today, okay? So anyway, I'm in Arkansas. We're driving on his street. I see his family outside next door, and I'm almost trying to, like, they didn't see me because the windows were rolled up, and they weren't expecting me to come to his house anyway. So we're driving by, and I see his family members next door to his house. And when I look at his house, it's half his normal house, like just the brick house, looks normal like his house right now, and half of it was just the frame of a new house, okay? Guys, the frame of a house is called, a lot of builders refer to the frame as the skeleton portion of a house, right? A skeleton portion, first the builders lay the foundation, that's the concrete on the ground, right? Then they start to build this frame of this house out of wood, and the frame is known as the skeleton, just like the skeleton of a body, right? The skeleton of a body, there's no life in that body. That's simply bones, okay? Dry bones. Y'all better catch this spiritually, because I ain't got that much time to explain it. But that's what builders refer to the frame of a house when they're building. Now, in order to build a new house or to rebuild a house, the old one has to be torn down, okay? You cannot rebuild or build a new house with half of a new frame and half your old house, okay? The frame of a house is built before anything else. The foundation is laid and the frame is built. And that frame, the skeleton of that house, has to be even, okay? If the skeleton or the frame of a house, now this is in real life, if the skeleton or the frame, which both the builders refer to it as both, if it is not even, that house will collapse. It will fall, okay? Which is why, again, you guys see when a house is being built, all you see is wood and sticks, and you know that someone's getting a house built. They have to build the entire frame of that house first to make sure that it's even, okay? Once they build that frame, they test the wood, because once they put the bricks and the windows and the doors and everything on that frame has to be even in order to hold up all of the weight that they're putting on the house. If a frame of a house is not even, the house will collapse, okay? Y'all better catch this. A lot of your husbands and your wives, they are trying to rebuild or build a new house with the old house still there, okay? And they are trying to do it in their own power without God, okay? His old part of his house represented his old self, his come on, Lord, help me with the words. His life without the Lord, okay? Represented his life without the Lord, and he's trying to rebuild, okay? He's trying to build onto that already house, which represented a relationship, okay? And I'm not going to get too much into my own personal walk in this journey and what I know of my ex-husband, but he's trying to build something new onto this old house, okay? I'm going to link the word that I posted previously, again, in the comment section. Go back and watch that, okay? My ex-husband, he got remarried after me. God told me that would be a failed takeoff. He then got divorced, okay? So now he's divorced, all right? God had already told me failed takeoff before he even said I do, okay? He got remarried February of 2022. He got divorced before that year was out, okay? By the time I found out he was actually married a few months later, he was already going through a divorce, okay? God is not a God that will lie, okay? God says in Psalms 127, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless means there's no way around it. If you try to build anything in your own will, you're doing it in vain. Vain means to be empty, to be fruitless, okay? He says, unless the Lord builds the house, the workers labor in vain. Unless, meaning there's no way around building a house unless the Lord builds it, okay? You can build your own house. That thing will fall. Your house has to be on solid foundation, which is the rock, the Lord Jesus Christ. Anything these husbands or wives are trying to build outside of the will of God, the thing is going to fall, okay? That frame is faulty. Okay, the house represented my ex-husband, his self, but it also represented his heart. Okay, if your heart is not with God, anything you attempt to do will fail. Anything you try to build in your own strength, according to your own will fall, because God says, unless the Lord builds the house, guys, unless, there is no way around it. Anything you build must include the Lord. He has to build the house, or you labor, as in you work in vain. It's pointless. It's empty. It's fruitless. Okay? And many of your husbands, your wives, they're trying to build with another person, and you're losing sleep over worrying about that. Give that to God, because unless the Lord builds a house, they labor in vain. My ex-husband cannot build a new house or rebuild with half the house as his old house, okay, his old self, his heart without God, okay, his life without God. He can't build anything new without God being the head architect of that, okay? Without God being the head architect. Your husband, your wife cannot rebuild or build anything new without God being the head architect over that, okay? And I'm going to link that other word below, because I released a dream in that word where I saw my ex-husband's title listed in the dream as architect assistant with Black Enterprises. And I'm not going to get into that dream. This is why you can go back and watch it, and I'm going to link it. Okay, there's so much juice in this dream of me being in Arkansas, but I'm giving you guys the short version. You don't need my version of what God was speaking to me, but take this how you see fit. I don't care who they're in a relationship with. I don't care if they said I do and married another person, honey. You are the wife. You are the husband. And unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain. Okay? I tell my sister Tara, which God uses her for two reasons. Hightower is the meaning of her name. He uses her to symbolize darkness in high places, and then Hightower as in a king's meeting place, like God's high place, right? In this dream, she was used in a good way. It's Hightower as in God was pretty much driving me. Okay, I was the passenger. He was driving me to show me what was happening behind the scenes and what was about to happen. Okay? I told her, keep going. I said, I can't stay there. His family could see me in there. I'm like, the house is exposed. I can't stay in there. Exposure, guys, is what's happening for a lot of these prodigals in this hour. Exposure. Exposure. God is exposing so much. Pay attention and be vigilant. Okay? I told her, keep going. I got money for a hotel. Take me to a hotel. And we went to a hotel, a place of transition. Okay? A hotel symbolizes prophetically a place of rest and transition. It can symbolize a lot of different things, but in this dream, it symbolized a place of transition. I was just passing by, watching him try to rebuild this house that is not going to stand. Okay? God just wanted to show me what is happening in this hour. I said, I can't stay here. Take me to a hotel. I went to my place of transition, which is where God has me right now, transitioning to go into my new. I said, take me to the hotel. I get to the hotel. This guy I know in real life texts me, hey, babe. I'm like, why is he calling me babe? I'm not his wife. In your place of transition, for the other of you people that this is for, okay? Don't let counterfeits get you in your place of transition. Okay, whatever God has promised you for your love story, whether it's restoration of your previous marriage or a new love story, in this place of transition of in between, this temporary holding place God has you in, getting ready to push you into what he has for you, don't be swayed by counterfeits. Okay, he texts me, hey babe, in the dream, and I said, why is he calling me babe? I'm not his wife. I'm not his babe. That's how I said it. I'm not his wife. I'm not his baby. That's what I said. Thank you, Holy Spirit. God is saying, don't be swayed by counterfeits in this place of transition. Okay? Don't be swayed. What he promised you is what it will be. He promised you a new love story. That's what it's going to be. But Satan is going to send those that aren't your husbands, that aren't your wives, to try to get you to go down a road that God did not pave for you. Okay? Take the way that he's paved for you. And this requires a high level of discernment in this hour. A high level of discernment. This word can go so many ways. For a lot of you, he's restoring your marriage. So this is for you. He's showing that that person is trying to build on an old foundation, on a sandy foundation, on an uneven foundation. That thing is going to fall. And I got a whole nother word to release on that, on a dream I had yesterday. It's going to fall. Go to your place of transition and wait on instructions from the Lord. Keep doing what he's told you to do. Stop worrying about the other woman, the other man. So what? It doesn't matter who come before you. The promise is still the promise. Okay? It didn't matter that Ishmael came before Isaac. Isaac was still the promise, honey. It did not matter. Trust God in where he has you. Okay? And in the dream, my ex-husband was saying I could hear him, not talking to me, just talking in general in the dream. Like I could hear him in the dream, in the spirit. And he was like, yeah, I slept into 11. I slept until 11, which, guys, 11 is the final hour. It's the hour before midnight, before transition, before a new day. Okay? He said I slept into 11 until 11. I'm rebuilding this house, I'm buying another house, doing all these things. Okay, just because you're moving does not mean you're progressing. Okay, and I did a whole word on this last week. Just because you're moving, he thinks he's doing all of these things, but he said, I slept until 11. For this part, the Lord gave me Jeremiah 11:11. Y'all can go read that yourself. Jeremiah 11:11 is what the Lord gave me for that I slept until 11 portion. Okay, it's time for them to wake up. God is not playing. The wake up call is here. Okay, they thought they was doing all these different things and moving and making things happen. The 11th hour is here. Okay, the 11th hour is here. It ain't no more sleeping time. It's a wake up call. It's exposure, and things are falling. Those foundations they tried to build on. Okay, and again, the house represented his heart, but it represented him. And him thinking the people rule, that he rules his own life. God says, unless the Lord builds the house, there's no way around that. Those that labor in vain. He is one of those people that's laboring in vain. Your husband, your wife is also laboring in vain. Keep going in the direction the Lord told you to go. Okay, in this dream, I said, I can't stay there. These people gonna see me. You can see straight through. Exposure, guys. Exposure. For many of you, don't awaken love before it's time. If you know you're not supposed to be a certain place, keep going. Lord, keep driving. I don't want this until you ready. That's the word, y'all. I got to get out this car because I got 10 minutes until this court hearing, and I have to pee really bad because your girl had coffee and water. But I love you guys. I will give y'all a testimony about this victory because I already won this case. Okay, let me go find my attorney. Okay, because he has not called me yet. I think I saw him pull up in front of me. But I love y'all. Have a blessed day.